Or the last, I'm sure. I did want to mention to you a little bit about this organization that we built. We're operating under the incident command system, a formal structure and unified command. Right now, our incident commanders are a member of the Mesa County Sheriff's Office and a member of the United States Forest Service. And within that structure is a whole bunch of other people. So many people that they're not here tonight. These are just representatives. I want to mention a few of them. I may leave something out. I hope I don't. But in addition to Mesa County government and the Mesa County Sheriff's Office, the Plateau Valley Fire Department has been involved. United States Forest Service, United States Geological Survey. The state of Colorado has provided geologists. National Weather Service has provided us hydrologists. The Colorado Department of Public Safety and Office of Emergency Management, you just heard from Chuck Vail. The governor's office, I'll tell you, I've been on the phone with the governor myself. He is a geologist. He has taken a strong interest in this and also a strong interest in making sure that we have the right resources. The city of Grand Junction with the notification system. The Colorado National Guard is here from the High Altitude Training Center in Eagle. They're helping us do overflights to get our experts having eyes on the event. The Colorado State Patrol has been involved. Not only were they here present for the first day, but they have been using their airplane to help also get people eyes in the air. The town of Colburn and the Colburn Marshal, and I'm sure there are others that I haven't that I forgot. So the next person is, I'm not sure who it's going to be, but we have a representative from the United States Geological Survey here, and I told you that we have state geologists. One of them is going to come up, I hope. I don't know who it is. Yeah, and talk to you about what they're seeing with the mountain and why it's causing us concern. And make sure to remember that we'll have question and answer at the end, and I'm sure you might have some opportunity to really ask questions of a technical nature as well. There you go.
Thank you. I may need to be one who screams. Can you hear me in the back? How about now? I'll try. My name's Jeff Coe. I'm with the U.S. Geological Survey from Golden, Colorado. And I'm in the landslide hazards group. We have a small research group in Golden, about 10 people, mostly geologists and hydrologists.
Hold on. We're going to fix this right here.
How's that? Oh. That's much better. As I was saying, we have about 10 people in our group, mostly geologists and hydrologists. And we do come out and look at events like this when they happen and try to give accurate and reasonably quick assessments of what we think. And that's what we're trying to do in this case. What we know, I arrived on Tuesday and I've been out yesterday and today. And what we know is that we would classify what happened here as a debris slide at the top. I would call it a debris slide because it's rocky, it's got a lot of trees in it, it's got debris in it, and it slid off the top. What's below that we would probably classify as a fast-moving earth flow. I would call it a chunky earth flow because it has a lot of rocks in it, but it's a lot of fine-grained material, therefore we call it earth. The earth flow part moved fast. And the ongoing threat is, in my opinion, I don't think it's the earth flow part itself, it's what's left at the top. And I want to draw a quick cross-section here so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, so it might just take me a minute. Sure. So if we think of this as a slice down the center of the landslide, just a vertical slice. We call it a cross section, but it's a vertical slice. So this is the top of the mesa. This is a big, what we call a headscarp, a big cliff now that's actively shedding rocks. When we were up there the other day, it was anywhere from 3 to 4 major rock falls per hour, so it's a very active place right now. This is right now it's a relatively small pond that's forming behind this remaining block. I drew that too high, I'm sorry. It should be more like down about here. I need to add something. Can you drop it down, Bill? Making it work. Yeah, I got skills. So those arrows represent water. So what's happening at the top is we have a couple waterfalls coming off this big headscarp, big cliff. They're feeding this pond, but the pond really, in my opinion, is not growing very fast. So the water is leaking into the bottom of this block. And this surface right here represents the slip surface. That's where everything slid on that surface. So the situation here is there's 2 threats at the top. There's a threat if this water suddenly stops draining and starts to build up and overtops this big chunk. And there's a threat, the opposite, because of the opposite reason, and that is because the water is leaking, and it's leaking onto this, we think it's probably leaking onto that slip surface. So what that does is it creates a buoyancy under that big block. And that raises the potential for future movement. And so these are the 2 areas of concern. I'll talk a little bit about monitoring. Is that okay? Sure. Okay. So after looking at this, we came up with a plan for how to monitor what's up at the top. It's a couple pieces. One is to have a remote camera that has its eye on that pond, and it uploads images automatically so people can see what the pond's doing without having to actually physically go there and look at it. The other piece is to put GPS receivers on this block so we know if it's moving or not. You know, when you go up there now, you look at that block and you think, well, there's some debris coming off the front, maybe there's a little coming off the back, but we can't tell if the whole block is moving or not. We need some kind of measurement tool to be able to do that. And so the nicest thing that we can come up with, and I think it's a good one, is to put GPS receivers on there that are tied into a network, and those GPS receivers transmit a signal that can also be viewed remotely. So if the big block starts creeping, I would say that's probably not unusual. There's going to be some settlement of that block. What we would watch for is not the creep movement, not a centimeter, not an inch a day, but if it starts increasing, that's where we have to be concerned. The other piece that sorry, that was too loud. The other piece that we recommended was a camera that is focused on this face right here. And that's because when you go onto this piece and you look at that face, everything is dry. We don't know where the water's going. We don't know where it's going to come out. So if we have some kind of remote way to look at that face and identify areas where water's coming out, we might see the water. We might also see if there's new little flows that come off the front of that. It's another really valuable tool, I think, to have. So those are the 3 pieces in terms of monitoring. Should I turn it over to you, Pete? I think that's all I can think of to